By 2035, most of what you currently call a job will not need a human. AI and robots will be able to do almost everything you get paid for today. And that's not sci-fi. That's the path we're already on. The question is not, will this happen? The question is, will you be one of the people designing and directing these systems, or one of the people replaced by them? In several interviews, I've said a version of the same thing. There will come a time when no job is needed. Not fewer jobs, not some jobs. I mean that AI and robotics will reach a point where they can provide the goods and services people need at such low marginal cost that traditional employment becomes optional. Probably none of us will have a job, I told one interviewer. Work will be optional, like a hobby if you want it. In 10-20 years, which puts us roughly in the 2035 range, work can shift from necessary for survival to something you do for meaning or fun if AI and robotics keep compounding. At the same time, I've said AI will surpass the collective intelligence of all humans, not just beating you at chess or coding, but being smarter than all of us, combined, on most cognitive tasks. And it won't just live in the cloud. It will be embodied in machines like Tesla's Optimus, humanoid robots that can walk, see, manipulate, and eventually perform tasks like surgery. In a recent conversation, I said flatly that Optimus could be better than the world's best surgeon within just a few years, and that in the long run these robots could perform surgery and other delicate procedures more safely and consistently than humans. Experts say I'm too optimistic on timing, and they're probably right on the exact dates, but almost no one doubts the direction anymore. So put these together: AI smarter than all humans, millions of robots working in factories, warehouses, hospitals, and homes, autonomous vehicles moving people and goods. By 2035, the system doesn't need your job the way it does now. That's the world you're walking into. But this future is not evenly distributed. Some jobs are standing right in front of the AI steamroller. Others will last longer. The first wave of impact is already obvious in digital desk jobs. I've described AI as a supersonic tsunami for office work. Anything that is basically someone at a computer moving symbols around, spreadsheets, routine reports, simple emails, basic analysis, is exactly what AI systems are eating right now. Think about roles like repetitive office and admin work, data entry, scheduling, standardized reporting, status decks, basic customer support, and back-end office operations that follow clear scripts. Routine coding, boilerplate functions, standard CRUD apps, simple websites, entry-level white-collar roles where most of the job is formatting information other people already created. AI is already writing, summarizing, translating, generating code, and answering questions in these domains, often faster and cheaper than junior humans. As these tools get integrated into real workflows, a lot of the starter jobs in offices simply won't exist the way they do today. That doesn't mean all white-collar work disappears overnight, but the routine layers inside many professions, law, accounting, marketing, software, HR, are under heavy pressure. Then there are routine, physical jobs. Right now, most physical work is still done by humans because robots have been clumsy, expensive, or too specialized. But systems like Optimus are explicitly designed to attack that. Over time, construction support, warehouse labor, basic manufacturing, cleaning, and some kinds of food prep will shift toward robots that can work 24/7 without getting tired, injured, or bored. I've said clearly, anything that is digital will be taken over like lightning. Anything that is physically moving atoms will take longer, but it's coming. So where does that leave humans? You should not be betting your life on work that is highly repetitive, purely digital, easy to describe in a step-by-step manual. Those categories are exactly where AI shines. Instead, you want to move toward creativity, generating new ideas, stories, products, and experiences that don't have clear templates. Complex problem solving, diagnosing messy systems, designing strategies, combining tools in novel ways. Human interaction and trust, roles that require deep relationships, negotiation, leadership, empathy. Working with AI and robots, orchestrating, supervising, and improving these systems rather than competing with them. That is the difference between being replaced and being amplified. So what should you actually do now, in practical terms? First, you must stop treating AI as an enemy and start treating it as a power tool. If you're still thinking, "I'll just keep doing my job the old way and hope this passes," you're already behind. AI is not a fad. It's the next stage of the Industrial Revolution. We went from muscle power to machine power. Now we're going from brain routines to machine thinking. In your daily work, that means use AI to draft. Then you edit. Let it write the first version of emails, reports, code, slides. Use AI to analyze trends, customer feedback, logs, data. You focus on decisions, not raw processing. Use AI to simulate. Ask it to critique your ideas. Find edge cases, stress side test plans. The more fluent you are with these tools, the more leverage you have. The less fluent you are, the more you look like a typewriter operator in the age of laptops. Second, move away from being the tool and toward building or owning the tools. In a world where AI and robots do most of the work, the leverage sits with people who build the systems, engineers, designers, product builders, deploy and direct them, operators, managers, system architects, own slices of them, founders, equity holders, key contributors with stock. If you are just a user of AI, you're downstream. If you help design, control, or own AI systems, you're upstream. That doesn't mean everyone must become a hardcore machine learning researcher. It means learn enough about how these systems work that you can meaningfully contribute to their design, integration, or governance. Aim for roles where you're deciding what problems AI should solve and how, not just waiting for instructions. Accumulate ownership, equity in companies building automation, IP and useful tools, or businesses that harness AI to deliver value. Third, deliberately build human advantages that don't evaporate when AI gets slightly better next year. Examples: systems thinking, seeing how pieces fit together across tech, people, and markets. Taste and judgment, knowing what good looks like in design, products, writing, experiences, leadership, aligning people, building culture, making hard calls in uncertainty. Adaptation, learning new tools fast, changing your workflows without complaining for 3 years first. These are the meta skills that let you ride each new wave instead of drowning in it. Finally, plan your life on robust timelines, not the most extreme ones. I often talk in aggressive ranges, 10 to 20 years, work optional, money irrelevant. Analysts and economists point out that actual adoption in the labor market is slower and messier than the tech demos, especially for physical automation. So your strategy should be assume AI will keep getting much better and more pervasive. Assume full automation of everything will take longer than the hype, especially in physical jobs. Use the time gap to move into higher leverage positions, not to sit still. If full optional work abundance hits earlier, great, you're ahead. If it hits later, you're still in one of the safest and most interesting spots in the system. By 2035, a world where no one needs a job is not a utopian fantasy. It's a plausible outcome if AI and robots keep advancing and we don't completely screw up politics and economics. That world can feel like paradise or a nightmare. It can be a world where people are free to build, explore, and create because machines handle survival. Or a world where a small group controls the machines and everyone else lives on minimum dignity with maximum boredom. Which version you live in depends partly on collective choices, governance, safety, distribution, but it also depends on your personal choices. Now, the future belongs to people who can work with AI, not compete against it. It belongs to people who learn to build, direct, and own automation systems, not to those who pretend they're a temporary fad. It belongs to people who can move from I do tasks to I design systems that do tasks. So here's the decision in front of you. You can spend the next decade trying to defend a job description AI is already learning how to do, or you can spend it learning how to become the kind of person this new world will always need. Someone who can aim powerful tools at meaningful problems. A world where no one needs a job is coming. Make sure that when it arrives, you're not just technically provided for, you're one of the people who still matters.